My baby girl. Oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm still in my PJs. Welcome, welcome. Please like and subscribe and comment if you like my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you're all doing well. Hope everything's going good for you. Yeah, the subject today is one that I'm not sure why it came up in my mind. It just did. But it was kind of like I'm thinking about members of family and stuff like that, or friends or neighbors or whatever that have died. And I don't know, guys. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of opinions about this, but that's okay. I've gotten to where I don't want to go to someone's funeral. I truly don't. And I know people will say, oh, but it's out of respect for the family, which I understand. But all of us are individuals, and I believe that we all have to do what we have to do in order to, I don't know, get through this life and just feel better about our life. I'm mixed right now. I'm kind of mixed about the feelings concerning funerals, especially going to funerals of people that you're not close to in any way whatsoever. I can't see it. I just can't. I did that. I went to the funeral of, let's see, my cousin's son died. And this is a cousin I wasn't close to in any way, shape, or form. Never had anything to do with him and his family for decades. But when I heard his son has died, I went. Well, then that cousin himself died. He was an older cousin. He died. I went to his funeral, even though his family had nothing whatsoever to do with me. I mean, nothing. And I called his wife, after he died. I called her several times to see how she was doing, told her, give me a call if you ever need to talk, what have you. They'd been married decades and decades. I don't know how long they were married. But I would call her. She never called me back. She never ever returned the calls. And I thought, well, what's different now? They had nothing to do with me before. They're having nothing to do with me now. Their kids, I've had nothing to do with them their whole lives, other than when they were children. We were children. I used to go and spend the night at their house, and because of my one cousin, and I'd go spend the night at their house all the time, and then when I became a teenager, I would babysit for them. But that's where it ended. Once I graduated and was out of high school, got married, went on with my life, well, there was nothing there anymore. But I went to these funerals out of respect for the family, and I'm at the point now where it's like, I don't feel an obligation to go to the funeral of somebody I'm not close to anyway. I just don't. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I just don't know how to explain it. Because when I die, I told my kids, do not waste money on a burial spot in some freaking cemetery. I do not want that. To me, it's ridiculous. After a while, nobody goes to those grave sites. They go for a while and then they're done. I don't want my kids wasting the time, energy, and money on a burial plot. I think it's, for me personally, I told them, have me cremated, throw my ashes to the wind somewhere pretty. That's it. Don't have some big old funeral thing at the church and all that stuff. Just gather afterwards. Gather after you've done the cremation and throwing of the ashes. Maybe my immediate family can gather at one of their houses and have a dinner and talk and what have you. Other than that, no. I don't see the reason for that whole funeral thing with the church and the a big old reception afterwards, and all these people, people that don't even see each other come together for a funeral. It's like, no. And I have a cousin right now who she has sworn off funerals. She will not go to anybody's funeral. She's like, nope, I don't want to remember them that way. I don't want to remember them through sorrow. I don't want to remember any of that. And I understand that. I really do. I just can't see, like right now, this cousin that I was talking about, that her husband died, he was my cousin, so she's my cousin through marriage. When she dies, I'm not going to her funeral. No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I tried reaching out to her. I tried calling her. I tried, respecting her that she lost this husband of many decades, who was my cousin. He was not a very nice man to me either, let me tell you. There was a situation that came up that he was very hurtful towards me, but I still went to his funeral. But when she dies, no, I'm not going to go. Her kids, their kids, they've had nothing to do with me since then. Absolutely nothing, and nothing before. So it's like, no, I'm not going to go. I'm sorry. I have no guilt about it either, because this is a woman who I tried reaching out to. I tried comforting. I tried, I would tell her, maybe you can come over, or maybe we can get together for lunch or something like that. And she never ever returned my call. So, okay, that's fine. You don't want anything to do with me. Well, we have the opportunity to get together. Well, no, I'm not going to be there when you're gone. No, I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel about it right now, and I don't think that's going to change. Even my sister, when my sister passes, I am not going to go to her funeral. Why? Because I do not want to remember my sister through a funeral. I just don't. I don't want to see all the sorrow and grief and I just don't want to see it. I want to remember if she goes before me. I don't, guys. I don't want all that sorrow and tears and crying, and I just don't want that to be my memory of my sister. She's gone. If she goes before me, she'll be gone. She's not going to be in that church. She's not going to be in that reception. She's not going to be in all that stuff. She's not going to be there. I will send a card. I will send flowers. I will call my niece and nephew. I will tell them how much I love them and I'm sorry that they lost their mother. I will call her husband, my brother-in-law. I will. But no, I'm sorry. You guys can think whatever you want of it, but that's the way I feel. I stopped visiting my mother, father, brother, and sister's graves years ago. We're talking years ago. I don't want to go. I don't want to see their name and of death, birth and death, and know that their remains are in there. That's just not what I want in my head anymore. I used to go, and then I realized, I'm always crying when I leave that place. And it was my son Nathan who one day told me, Mom, why do you come and visit their graves? You always leave depressed as can be. And I stopped. And I felt much better. So after I stopped, I began to feel good again. It was like, oh, good deal. I can remember them how I want them, alive and happy, good times, that type of thing. I'm never going to go back to their graves. I just have no desire to see that. For me, it's very depressing. And so I'm just wondering what your ideas are about funerals. I know a lot of you will say, well, it's respect to the surviving people. A lot of you may say, no, you don't want to go to funerals either anymore. And my one cousin who doesn't go anymore, I understand it. Like she's, like in my view, it's like, I get that a funeral is needed for some people, I guess for closure, that type of thing. I don't need closure going to a funeral and seeing everybody crying, depressed and miserable. That's not what I want in my head about someone who has died. If it's someone I care about or somebody that's in my life, of course, if anything happened to my own children, of course, I'd be there, or my grandchildren. But outside of that little circle, it's, I don't really know. I don't really know. I really don't know what I would do if somebody dies. Maybe my two cousins that I have, female cousins, if something happened within their family, yeah, I probably would, because they do mean a lot to me. But outside of that, I can't see, like when my neighbor's husband died, okay, her husband died. Everybody goes to the funeral. I didn't, and why? Because I had lived here, about 8 years at the time, and not once was I invited into their home, even when I went to their door for whatever purpose. Not once did I hear, "Come on in, Lori." Yet when she came over one time, I invited her in. "Come on in." Of course I invited her. But not once in all those years did she had nothing to do with me other than chit-chat across the driveway. Well, no, I wasn't going to go to her husband's funeral when he died. No, I'm sorry. It's not like we were close or we had any kind of bond or anything like that. No. So, yeah, I'm kind of at a point in life where I don't want to remember somebody through their death. I really don't. My sister especially, if she goes before me, there is no way I'm going to travel all the way to California just to see the sorrow and sadness and depression that would follow. I can't. I've already lost 2 siblings, so I can't, for me psychologically, I can't see another sibling dead. I can't do it. The 2 that passed before, it affected me deeply. It affected my health. It affected my mental state. It affected everything. Seeing my dead siblings. No, I can't do that again. And anybody who thinks it's selfish, I really don't care. I have to take care of me. I cannot see another sibling that has died. I can't do it. That's just the way I feel. I know how it affected me before. I'm going to take care of me now. I'm alive. I have to take care of me. My sister, if she goes, she'll be gone. Or anybody else, really. Except, like I say, my own kids and grandkids, of course. But I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel about funerals. Tell me how you feel about the whole process of it. I don't want it for myself. I don't want my kids to go through all that of setting up the church and the funeral and the this and the that and the burial and everybody standing around crying and miserable. I don't want that. I really don't want that. I want them to remember me in happier times, better times. I don't want that to be their last thought of me. Mom's funeral. No. It's just how I feel, guys. It's just one of those things. Part of the reason I brought it up is I had watched a few videos of Ozzy Osbourne's funeral, and oh my God, the sorrow, the sadness. Also, they were, Ozzy, that type of thing for him, cheering him on, what have you. But seeing the sorrow and seeing the sadness, it was like, no, man, I don't want that. I don't, guys. It's just like, have me cremated, bury me. That's it. That's just absolutely it. My son's girlfriend, she tells me she doesn't want to be buried or cremated. She wants her body to just be put out somewhere for nature to take over. And I'm like, are you crazy? And she's like, I don't want to be cremated or buried. Let nature take over out there. Well, I was just laughing. I thought, oh my God. But that's what she said. She's like, I just put me out there and, Pixie, no. Just put me out there and let nature take over. I was like, oh my God, to me that sounds worse than anything, but that's what she wants. So I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think about funerals, what maybe your plans are for yourself, because, yeah, for me personally, it's a sad time that's my last memory of somebody, is that sad, crying-filled funeral. I don't know. Call me weird. I don't like it. And I think I need to check the time again on my camera. Oh, it's only 15 minutes. Move, Lily. Move, Lily. So, yeah, oh, I don't know, guys. I know everybody has different views, and a lot of people feel that a funeral is mainly done for closure. I don't know. I guess if that's what you need, that's what you need to do. If you need closure about somebody who has died, I guess if you need to go to their funeral, you go. But in my case, I really and truly don't feel that I truly feel that I just don't want my kids' memories of me to be the last thing was the funeral. I don't want that to be the last thing. They can gather, like I said earlier, they can gather afterwards, have maybe a little dinner somewhere or something, and I just hope, they have good memory, they can think of the good memories of me. But no, I just can't see a funeral. I don't know why. To me, I find them very macabre, very depressing, very sorrow-filled, very sad-filled. No. No. And I know a lot of you will have a lot of different views on this and a lot of different opinions, which is, that's fine. Everybody has their views on how the end should be. But for me personally, I don't know. That's just not, it's just not for me anymore. And I'm kind of really understanding my cousin, who, her mother told me, her mother is my first cousin, I guess, and then they are my second cousins. But her mother told me she's done. She doesn't go to funerals anymore, and I get it. Man, they're depressing. They're depressing as all get out. And now they've turned into a horrendous money-making scam. My God, what they charge to go through all of that is outrageous. It's absolutely insane. I mean, if I ever have money to leave my kids when I die, I don't want it to go to a funeral. Let it go to them. Forget the whole funeral thing. No. Anyway, guys, just thought I'd chat about something that was on my mind. So anyway, you guys take care, and I hope you have a good week ahead. And yeah, tell me what you think. We're not all going to agree. Nobody ever always agrees on everything. That's part of life. And I'm not, I don't get upset when people say, oh no, you've got to have a funeral. I'm not going to sit there and go, why would you do that? No, everybody has their views on what their ending should be, or what they feel about anybody else's ending. I don't know.